Within the United States of America, hip-hop music was highly praised by those existing in the lower class communities, yet it was isolated by the mass of upper-class citizens. Over a period of time, hip-hop became the fad, it became marketable, and it then became widely spilled into the white suburb communities, discos, showbiz, cinemas, and more. Hip-hop was becoming evolutionary.
Hip-hop has successfully indoctrinated the philosophy that is misogyny. Our sole mission as men is disregard psychology and embrace physiology. And this reality is simply a symptom of our complacence, and this is an epidemic that an entire genre of music is facing. Now, how can we wonder why men of color feel obligated to act scummy when the proliferating message embedded in raps is fuck bitches, get money? Now the message goes, I'm a rapper. If you want to be cool like me, then you must get dapper. If my bitches fall out of place, then I'm a slapper. Cause I'm a rapper, a fucking rapper. Preying on girls with low self-esteem, just a trapper.
Hip-hop is definitely a subculture or genre. It's a form of art used to express lifestyles, cultural overcomings, and obstacles endured within people of color and other minority groups.
I define hip-hop music as art where individuals, such as artists, express their feelings and tell a story of like the experience they've had growing up or the things that they see on a daily basis.
A genre that began in the late 60s to the 20th century, hip-hop music has become a more prevalent aspect of world entertainment. Hip-hop genre originated inside the south side of one of New York's most notorious boroughs, the BX, the Bronx. Here in the ghetto communities, which consisted of predominantly blacks and Latinos, hip-hop blossomed. The music became a form of expression and a voice to those under oppression. It began to be highly recognized for crafts during the 70s such as rap, MCing, breakdancing, and graffiti. The genre was evolving in different avenues. Beginning almost over 30 years ago, the genre began making a more cultural movement and a social impact.
Right here, what we're gonna do is go back.
What's up, Pete? What you got?
I got this. Well, my name is Apples, and I rock your world. I'm also known as the Gucci girl. Well, I'm super cute and plenty bad. 30, 26, 36 and a half. I hope that you will realize I got the hazel eyes that'll hypnotize and knock you to your knees, make you eat cheese. You be so helpless, you be begging me, please. Y'all share that.
This began the story of the love of hip-hop.
I got a reason.
On me?
On me.
Do you understand what the artist is saying in his song?
No.
For example, back in the day, if a girl gave head, she was a brainer and she was a hoe. Nowadays, if you do, you're fine. There's nothing, like, guys don't get at you about it as much anymore. Now it's everything else. If you cheat, you're a hoe. If you wear revealing clothes, you're a hoe. If your bum is actually too big and you don't cover up as much as you should, you're a hoe. So just because it's in lyrics, because of the lyrics and the music that they listen to, if that's what their favorite artists or rappers are glorifying and that's what they're okay with, then of course they're gonna be okay with that as well. Because again, if they're not music literate, they won't understand the true definition of the words that they're using.
I feel like it's counterproductive to everything females, black females in specific, have been working for. It's not progressive. We are definitely objectified in every way, shape, and form. We're not to be taken seriously, and if this is how hip-hop, again, let's rewind. Hip-hop, it's predominantly people of color and minority groups. And if our own people are subjecting our own women of color in this light, then how are people outside of our race supposed to take us seriously? You know, it's not going to help us grow, and it's definitely not progressive.
I grew up in an environment of hip-hop music, you know, a lot of cousins, listening to people like Tupac and Biggie and those type of artists. So I think that's the most influential thing that I had growing up, even on the radio, listening to those type of things. That also has been like a way that has brought me up to the man I am today.
I use hip-hop music as an outlet when I want to get ready for a party or I want to get excited. I think it has a lot of energy to it. It has a lot of storyline in it if you really investigate it and you look into certain artists like Absol.
But don't nobody rhyme like this no more. Call me the 2010 Rakim. I got soul, small store.
They have more to bring into hip-hop music, I feel, than more mainstream artists do.
I'm on that good cushion alcohol. I got some damn bitches I can.
Mainstream hip-hop, they usually have a criteria they have to follow. You're targeting this audience, you have to rap about this, this, and that. That's mainstream. Underground is mostly like expressing yourself in a different type of way that nobody could judge you or nobody could criticize you in any way, shape, or form.
I think mainstream artists have become very superficial. It's just about the money and very objective towards women. It's about drugs. There's not really a message put into the music anymore. There's no strong cultural or philosophical message that goes into hip-hop music, I feel, anymore. That's why I'm kind of like on the off and ons on it. I love hip-hop music, but at the same time, there's components of it, more so now, that I don't agree with. And I think we don't do as much to address it. We need to address those problems in hip-hop because there are problems in hip-hop music.
That right, Chuck.
I started DJing when I was about 16. I was in high school at the time, and it was just something that I fell in love with via a movie called Juice, and that's pretty much where I kind of got the idea, and then I just started to follow other DJs that was already doing their thing in Toronto, so I kind of just embraced it and I went from there. The process is just trying to, make sure that it flows well together, it all, makes sense, and that it creates a vibe that, the people at the party or listeners or whatever it is understand and can vibe with it, and as well as like engage and learn from what I'm playing. The DJ has a big role in those things like that. They definitely set the vibe, and they can definitely bring things back to reality in a way, because if a concert isn't going well, or the singer may be off or whatever it is, they have the ability to still engage the crowd almost as if like they were rapping or they were singing. So it's kind of very instrumental in creating that vibe and atmosphere for people.
First, the process of bringing together a mixture of songs depends on what you're gonna do. Let's say if I'm doing a hip hop mix, what type of hip hop mix? There's different genres of hip hop, like trap, there's like basically trap music, there's other type of genres, but you have to consider the fact, the BPM, which means beats per minute, and like the transition, how it's gonna transition into the next song and stuff like that. So basically, like, the process is not really that tedious. It's just you pick the songs you want to hear at the same pace and just run with it.
That's for Jam Master Jay. After he passed away, I got this belt right after Jay passed away, after Jay got shot and killed. There would be no hip hop if it wasn't for the DJ. And I think what Jay did was this. You could ask every DJ that's in the business. You could even ask A-Track, who's part of the campaign, Unite All Originals with us. Jay was the first DJ who showed that DJs could play concerts.
Run DMC! Somebody say, alright! Alright!
Like a rock star. But more importantly, Jay demonstrated the importance of the DJ as being the producer, the creator. If we didn't have Jay laying the music, doing the scratching, arranging everything, there would be no Run DMC. Like, we had all these lyrics, but where could you put it? The foundation of Run DMC is Jay. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for every other rap group, hip hop group. It all starts with the DJ.
Cup full of liquor, a lot of weed, bunch of bad bitches, sweating out they weed, no fabrication, that's me, got some real niggas.
Hip-hop music has evolved greatly. You see it everywhere. The fact that Jay-Z is getting, talked about on CNN, on talk shows. These guys they're going on the same talk shows that actors are going on. Hip-hop is almost pop music now, you know what I mean? Like the type of effect pop music had on, the world and the culture, hip-hop is now having that. Like I said, people are dressing a certain way. Even the pop stars are they've taken a lot of what hip-hop brought to the table and put it into pop. So I think hip-hop has a huge effect. And it's evolved a lot in that way because now it's being, it's in video games, it's everywhere, you know what I mean? It's everything, sports. Even you'll hear politicians refer to things and it has to do with hip-hop. So, that's how you know it's evolved, because there was years when that wasn't even happening. So I think just all those examples right there show that.
Artists like that back in the day, those were hip-hop artists, obviously, but their work had a message behind it. Like, it had content. They were lyricists, so they spent a great deal of time making sure that the way that their message was being expressed in a positive light, and if not positive, and it made sure it left a strong impact on its listeners.
Broken glass everywhere, people pissing on the stage, they just don't care. I can't take the smell, can't take the noise, got no money to move out, I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with the baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far, cause a man with a touch truck repossessed my car. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Tupac especially, he was definitely focused around the Black Panther era. So a lot of his messages and his music focused around the black struggle, violence, inequality. Hip-hop now, obviously, compared to artists back in the day.
That God gave you 2 ears to listen and 1 mouth to speak. 2 ears and 1 mouth. Common sense. 1 mouth, you should speak, but you should also listen, and that's where the knowledge comes from, listening. Look at unsaved sex and drugs. And you can tell if you look at the statistics, they're staggering again, And so I think they're scared because they're realizing that they goofed, they really messed up, and also they fear teenagers are angry. At least this generation seems a little angrier than me and a little bit more rebellious and uninvolved. So they're scared because they're realizing that, what's going to happen when you get all these people in power. But also just because it's human nature to be scared to watch a child grow up, and you don't want to give them that yet. Guys, speak to women with this much respect. And I deplore that. My mother just told me, I grew up, my mother raised me. So I have this much respect for women, and I fight often because of that. And it gives me a lot of friends. I mean, I get a lot of friends, but I get a lot of friends because I have respect for women, ultra respect for women. But then, like I was liking this girl in town, And I'm extra nice, you know, extra gentleman. I'm extra just like, oh, you're beautiful and you deserve the best. And she told me I was too nice. I couldn't believe it. It wouldn't work because I was too nice. That was the ultimate stab in the back.
It's nothing, it's not comparable in the story. I can actually use Jay-Z as an example. I know he's not listed there. Jay-Z, everyone knows, comes from the Brooklyn projects. You know, once upon a time, he was so focused on drugs and making his way out of the projects, you know, the struggle that he went through.
The dough and stay real jiggy. Sip the Chris and get pissy. Flow infinitely like the memory of my nigga Biggie. Baby, stop for ya, nigga.
Now Jay-Z has fallen in line to, again, the whole twerking epidemic. You know, he had different men in the struggle with him. You know, they came together as one with one goal. And after making it out, he's not so focused on, you know, helping kids get out of the projects anymore. It's more of, this is what I have. I know about art, international art, twerk Miley. Like, there's just so many forms. Like, he's gone away from the message. And again, that's with hip hop in general, right? Like, it's evolved from let's say, helping black people grow or people of color grow to, hey, this is what I have. You don't have it. I'm selling albums with, you know, I'm promoting my albums on iTunes. You guys are still buying it and I'm still making money off of it. You know, so it's not very motivating, it's not inspiring. Whereas artists back in the day, it was inspiring. Like, you know, it sends a very strong message.
Yeah, you know who it is. Black on the styles, black on the styles. Yeah, you know who it is. Black on the styles, black on the styles. Yeah, you know who it is. Everywhere we go, we do it big. Yeah, nigga back up.
I mean, I think that when it comes to, there is kind of, you know, a bad light that is put on women in hip-hop. I think in society, period. But I mean, in hip-hop, it's a bit more visual. So I definitely have to agree with it that there definitely is. And I only mean that for that fact is, you know, the words bitch is used a lot, hoe. You know, in videos, it's showing usually a raunchy side of a rapper or a hip-hop lifestyle. So no matter what, from seeing it from somebody that's not in that lifestyle or in that life, and you don't understand it, you're definitely gonna get that vibe from it. So I mean, if you're in that lifestyle, you understand it, you won't take it that way. But majority of the people just looking at it, they would definitely think that. So I would agree with that. I definitely would agree with that.
So I can relate and I can agree on most occasions. Like I was saying, for women, it's like they're getting paid for this as a job. You know, as I was talking about the whole actress, you know, or actors thing before, they're getting paid to do a certain thing. You know what I mean? And if they're not comfortable with that, then they shouldn't do it. Just like in a movie, if you're not comfortable with doing something, they're not going to do it. So I agree with it because hip hop it's sexy music. A lot of it is sexy music. A lot of the hits, you know, R&B too, and you know, just in music in general. So, you know, it comes with it. You know, it comes with being the man. You're going to have a bunch of sexy girls around you. So I think because they're modeling, sometimes they can come out trashy to a lot of people because it's like you're degrading women because all they look like is a piece of meat. But you got to understand, like, it's almost like if you watch like a show on Broadway and you see a lot of women dressed real sexy, but nobody's saying that. Everybody's there like, oh my God, the show was great. But once you put the hip hop, you know, there's a lot of negative things to say about hip hop. So I think when things are brought to it, it becomes negative, and so people got something to say. But so that's why I can relate, because I understand it, I understand the culture, and I agree. As long as it's, you know, it's not degrading women, you know, or it's real negative stuff or putting down women, I think it's okay.
I feel even a little like intellectually unstimulated when I start listening, and when I associate myself, I feel I have to change myself when I'm with people who are listening to like ignorant hip hop music. That's what I would call it, is ignorant hip hop music. I have to be more, I have to change myself in the sense that I have to be, oh yeah, that's dope, yo, yeah, nodding my head, yeah, you know, just dumb down my speech. And there's nothing I'm gaining from that music. There's nothing it's really saying towards me. I'm twerking to music that's telling me that you're a girl, your point is to please a man. Other than that, you're not good enough. You don't have long hair, you don't have big boobs, you don't have a big bum, you're not good enough. Light skins, dark skins, these are all things that are being created and evolving into hip hop. A lot of stereotypical, I'm sorry to say the word bullshit, is being put into hip hop.
The concept of a hoe, it's also like, it's different to everybody as well. So like some guys they may actually use the term in the way it's supposed to be used and think, okay, she's a hoe because she sleeps with 10 different guys. But there's a song out right now by Kirkle Banks called Hoe, and it's just everything. Like, she walks down the street, she's a hoe. And she does this, she's a hoe.
When I think about you, I think hoe. When I dream about you, I think hoe. It only took me some hours to hit, I think hoe. When I see you with my nigga Chris, I think hoe.
So like, some guys that are not music literate will just say, oh yeah, these girls are hoes, and they'll call anybody a hoe because that's what men say in songs. But there's other guys who will actually say, okay, this is the reason why she is a hoe, and back it up with factual evidence.
So who do you like to listen to when you listen to music?
Drake.
Do you have a favorite song that you listen to?
No. I got a reason, I got a reason.
Ami? Do you understand what the artist is saying in his song?
No.
What do you think he's saying?
I don't know.
So why do you like the song?
Because I like his voice.
You like his voice?
How does it feel when you listen to his songs?
Feel good.
I believe that has greatly impacted the way that men view women, and it made them desensitized, because at the end of the day, personally, if I see a beautiful woman just no clothes on, just shaking her butt and, you know, letting men drop money on her and those type of things, I'm not gonna have respect for those type of women. I'll feel that, hey, any girl that I come into contact with, okay, you know, just a little money will probably, you know, get her to do anything that I want. So I just feel that it will be human nature to not have that much respect to women. And if you see that on a daily basis, especially as a man that listens to hip hop music and watches these videos, at the end of the day, the respect level will never be there.
Preschoolers, information imprints on them a lot easier. They remember things, they act upon what they hear and what they see. So most definitely you have to filter what they listen to.
Before I used to think that they didn't interpret it too much, because I was like, well, you know, what would they know about certain things that are being said in songs? But then I started to realize when I actually, you know, went to a junior high jam, and I seen the way that girls were dressing and the way that, you know, guys were trying to dance with them in that thing, in the party and stuff, and I was just like, yo, I was dancing this like this when I was like in my last year of high school. This is normal. So I kind of see how much of an effect music has on kids these days. So it's a huge effect.
Definitely, I would think preschoolers, teaching them and instilling that in them at an early age is going to carry that along through their whole lives. They're going to hold those values true as long as, even if they're exposed to the wrong kind of hip hop, they're exposed to the hip hop that subjectifies women. I think if they have those values earlier on, they know what hip hop music is supposed to be about, what the point of a poetic kind of avenue is supposed to be for hip hop music. I think they'll carry that along, and I think nipping it in the bud, yes, going right at the beginning is a great idea.
It would definitely be the message that artists are sending out to their listeners. And I say that because, again, we have artists back in the day who were very focused and spent a great deal of time you know, making sure that their message was heard in a certain light, and that left a very strong impact. I would hope that artists nowadays place the same focus on the material that they're releasing and take consideration to their listeners and the effect it has on their listeners and the message they're sending across, you know, to be more positive, to be more uplifting, to help us grow as a race and as a generation.
Epidemic that an entire genre of music is facing. Now, how can we wonder why men of color feel obligated to act scummy when the proliferating message embedded in raps is fuck bitches, get money?
I'm 5 and my name is Nicholas. I got a reason, I got a reason.
Because again, if they're not music literate, they won't understand the true definition of the words that they're using.
And if our own people are subjecting our own women of color in this light, then how are people outside of our race supposed to take us seriously?
Has been like a way that has brought me up to the man I am today.
Anymore, there's no strong cultural or philosophical message that goes into hip-hop music.
A concert isn't going well, or you know, the singer may be off, or whatever it is, they have the ability to still engage the crowd.
There's other type of genres, but you have to consider the fact the BPM, which means beats per minute.
Jay was the first DJ who showed that DJs could play concerts.
Bitch is used a lot. Hoe. You know, in videos, it's showing usually a raunchy side of a rapper, a hip hop lifestyle.
Think, okay, she's a hoe because she sleeps with 10 different guys.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Kush signing off. You know, the interview was great. They asked me a lot of good questions. You know, some questions I was able to answer, you know, the way I wanted to. If y'all want to find out more info about me, you can go check out my website at www.kushmusic.ca. My mixtapes, my videos, my bio, everything's on there, and you could just, you know, check it out and listen to it, and, you know, I hope you become a fan. Take care.